What's going on? What's going on, people? Hope all is well with you today. And man, we had a rough go at it the other night. I had a real rough go. But check this out. So tonight we're going to talk about letting your light shine. For those of us who are part of the Masonic Order, we're going to talk about letting your light shine. And I'm going to say this. If your faith, your knowledge, and your conviction in regards to Christianity matters and it serves you well, and there's no inner urge to look beyond the veil, then don't do it. Once again, if your faith, your knowledge, okay, your conviction in regards to Christianity matters and it serves you well, and there's no urge to look beyond the veil, then don't do it. You stop right there. You don't go no farther. And I say that because if you are traveling along a dark road and you have a light or a flashlight, and that light shines that beam farther than the natural eye can see, then you're able to move forward. But if you don't have a light, you will not move forward because you'll be too afraid. So if you have a light, don't put it under your bed. Hold it up so everyone can see that you have a light. So tonight we're talking about letting your light shine. All right, because a lot of individuals who are Masons don't do that. They don't allow their light to shine. They want to hold the knowledge to themselves. They want to take it and put it under the bed, and they just want to flash the emblems and let people know that, hey, I am part of this thing called Freemason, but they don't want to put any energy into it. Everything that surrounds us is energy. Everything. What we tend to do is surround ourselves with people who don't have our best interests, okay? Which is what some consider to be negative energy. I'm telling you today, brothers and sisters, we must take that thing that we hold dearly in this fraternal order of the Freemasons and the Order of the Eastern Star and practice that work. When I say practice that work, that means take it and put it into our lives to make that which we are a part of a reality. And most of us don't know how to do it because we don't know how to apply that for which we are a part of. And when you are able to do that, you are able to just transcend beyond your grand lodge. You're able to transcend beyond the boundaries that is around you. You're able to do things that others would seem impossible. And I say that because in my own life, I can say that those things actually happen. They occur because I put forth that energy to make sure that I'm able to do it. And most of us don't want to put forth that energy, but that's okay. And like I said, that's all right. Oh, man, what did I do with it? What did I do with it? I brought it back in and I set it down. Excuse me just a second, gentlemen, sisters, and brothers. I'm back. Yeah, so this is what we have to do. This is where we're at. So we're going to talk about letting our light shine, and we're going to be talking about various degrees in the order. We're not just going to limit ourselves tonight in regards to the three principal degrees, but we're going to expound on the other degrees which are in Freemason, because I tell you what, as I said the other evening, those of us who are 33rds, we don't have an opportunity to really speak with other 33rds because most of them don't know. They flash the ring, they talk about it, but they don't really hold a conversation with another 33rd. They don't. I've seen brothers who are 33rds, and I've talked with sisters who are part of the Rose of the Seven Seals, and some may say Daughters of Isis, or no, not the Golden Circle. Okay, I've seen those daughters too, and I try to have a conversation with them, but they don't study the works. The degree is honorary. The 33rd degree is honorary. So once they get it, they don't study the works. They're satisfied with where they're at. And that's all they get. This is all they know. Man, I'm putting stuff down tonight. Oh, got that. So tonight, once again, the lines are going to be open, but we're going to talk about a mirage of degrees. We're going to be sort of all over the place tonight, just letting the light shine, letting things flow as they do. If you got questions and you want to call in tonight, that number is going to be 619 286 0642. That's where we're going to be at tonight. So, people often ask other people who are not Masons what you know about being a Mason, and that's the thing. There's a lot of misinformation out there about the Masonic order, a lot of misinformation out there about the different grand lodges that are out there or jurisdictions. There's a lot of misinformation, and that's the sad thing. If you want to know about John G. Jones Grand Lodge of California, talk to somebody who's a member. If I want to know about Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Illinois, I want to talk to somebody from that Grand Lodge. I'm not just going to just limit myself to what somebody from California says about the Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Illinois. That is misinformation. And this is what we deal with all the time. So, to those of my companions, once again, just want to send you a big shout out, companions. I have all the upper houses like this. I have the Knights Templar, the Royal Lodge, well, of course, the Royal Lodge, the Shriners. I have these, I have a brother who made these. He did an excellent job. If you want to holler at me, I can find out if he's still making them. Any house, even including your Grand Lodge name can go on here. So, hey, it's good to have brothers that definitely, do some things for you. What do he say? Triple touch. Brother Brandon Lewis, boy, you got jokes. You got jokes. Yeah, for real. But definitely, we're going to be a little all over the place tonight. So, if you have questions you want to call in, you can do so. But we're going to start off tonight. We're going to start off in the upper house degrees tonight as far as what they mean, what they teach. Just as myself and Brother Freemason Unlocked the other night, we was going in with it. And, we really didn't get a chance to finish that conversation. I had some technical difficulties. I just couldn't. It just wasn't happening. So tonight, I'm going to make sure that I'm on par. And we're gonna do the thing. We're gonna get it done. Hello.
Hey, what's up, brother, man?
Hey, it's going all good. Who am I speaking with?
This is Brother Kyle Foster.
Brother Foster?
Yeah, Kyle.
Oh,
Kyle.
okay. Pal Foster. Where you hail from, brother?
I'm coming from Chicago.
Chicago. Well, talk to me.
Okay, so look, I really wanted your take on like a couple recommendations when it comes down to lodges in Chicago for young men who looking to learn more about Freemasonry. And I also want to hear your take on, because I'm at like kind of a crossroads. I'm looking at the Nation of Islam, right? I'm looking at the Masons, and I don't know, man. I know both of them organizations got truths that benefit me for my life, but I want to hear your take on what you think about those two.
Well, you know what? I go to the mosque on Sundays and I go to church. So to me, it's a win-win situation. Being part of the mosque or the NOI. And I know there are some brothers who watch the show. They are not necessarily part of any particular sect as like the Nation of Islam, but they are Muslims of whether it be Sunni or Shiite, and that was one more I can't think of it, but I know those predominantly two parts of Islam that they are part of. So I won't put one over the other. I won't, because it's just me. I can't put one person over the next person.
Right.
But as far as grand lodges are concerned, it all depends on what you're looking for. And that's the honest truth. In Chicago, there are quite a few different grand lodges, and there are a few that I actually socialize with, actually have visited, and I don't have, and to put one over the other, I can't do that.
No, I'm not necessarily asking you to like give me the best one. I'm just looking for a solid foundation to get to start at.
Well, I'll tell you what. Are you looking for what we would call the recognition part, or are you looking to really get into Freemasonry?
No, I really I want to get in it, fully.
Okay, so if you're looking for the recognition part, I'm gonna tell you Prince Hall. Period. If you're looking to say, well, I'm recognized by whomever, I'm gonna say Prince Hall. That's what I'm gonna say.
We bought you something. We bought you something.
You bought me something?
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Take him with you.
Okay.
Granddaughter brought me some. Oh, my favorite.
Love you, Papa.
I love you too, baby. But anyway, so I'm gonna tell you Prince Hall if you're looking for a particular Grand Lodge where you say I'm recognized and I can do this and I can do that. I'll say Prince Hall. But if you're looking to really get into the teachings, and from my own point of view, the teachings of Freemasonry and what it's really all about, you have St. John's Grand Lodge that's there. You have New Jerusalem Grand Lodge, which is there. You have I think it's called Cypress Grand Lodge, which is there. And those are the three that I really hang around when I come to Chicago. There are several others, but those are the three. I mean, for me, I get there, man, and the lectures are good. They don't criticize other jurisdictions. They just get into masonry. And if that's what you're looking for, one of those three should do it.
Perfect, brother. Thank you so much. That's all I want.
Yeah, so hook up with Brother Christopher Jackson from that Grand Lodge. And if you want his information, I can get it to you.
Yeah, please do that, brother.
Yeah, that's no problem, brother. St. John's Grand Lodge. That's the man, I wish I had the address in front of me. But hey, I tell you what, later on tonight, just give me a call back after the show, about 15 minutes after the show. Give me a call back. I have that information for you.
Okay, will do. Thank you so much, man.
All right, then. You're welcome.
All right.
All right, appreciate it. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to be all over the spectrum. We're going to let this light shine tonight. So I'm going to get right into it, right off the top, and we're going to talk about the Lodge of Perfection. No, not the Lodge of Perfection. We're going to talk about the fourth degree on the Scottish Rite side, okay? The fourth degree on the Scottish Rite side. The symbol of the fourth degree on the Scottish Rite side is a key. And why do you think that it's a key? All right? Why do you think it's a key? You know, I would say that it's a beautiful thing. That masters travel. That's what they call it, master travel. And here in this degree of the Scottish Rite, this degree provides us with a moral truth. And we shall witness our journey through the Scottish Rite. So it sets you up as you begin to travel on the Scottish Rite side to know that there's some moral truth that you're gonna be faced with in life. Are you willing to deal with you? You know, that's what you have to look at in that fourth degree, the master's travel. Are you willing to deal with you? You can't lie to yourself, but can you accept yourself? Can you love on yourself? You know, because if you can't love yourself, you can't love nobody else. You know, and that degree tells you that. That degree teaches that. It has its own signs, its own symbols, its own password. It has its own everything. And as you get deeper into Freemasonry, you will know that every degree has its own everything. It's fully locked in like that. So if you want to just really have that conversation tonight about the various degrees, you can give a call in 619-286-0642, and we can definitely get down like that. All right. So we're going to go from there. We're going to go to the fifth degree, and we're going to look at the fifth degree, which is the past master on the Scottish Rite side. This degree teaches us the selfishness through unworthy ambition. You know, some of us are very selfish, right? We are. I mean, I am selfish in some ways in my life and some of the things that I have in my life. So don't think that you're the Lone Ranger. Don't think that you're not. You know, all of us have some selfish needs that we need to really just look at and pay attention to, because it is what it is. You know, it really is that. So we have to really consider that. And you know, it's okay. It's okay. It's really okay. But we have to be careful about having selfish needs. Being selfish can break you down, can tear you down. So once again, I want to welcome everybody aboard. Tonight we're talking about letting our light shine. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to let that light shine. So we're going to talk about the various degrees in Freemasonry. So it's going to really be all over. So no one can just hold me to a particular topic tonight. But we're going to get it in. We're definitely going to do that. The phone number is going to be 619. And it's going to be 286 0642. So give me a holler. Call in tonight. That's the line. That's the number. I just put it up there. All right. All right. Greetings from executive number 69 in Los Angeles. Greetings. Hello.
Greetings, brother. How you doing?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
I'm fine. This is Brother Tolson, PHA.
All right. Welcome aboard. You might want to. I hear a little volume in the background, so turn it down just a little bit for me.
Okay.
All right. Talk to me.
I listen to your show quite a bit, brother, and I want to say I thank you for all the information that you put out there.
Uh-huh.
I thank you for trying to build a gap between PHA and trying to build that gap between other Grand Lodges. Well, thanks for that, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing is, I just was raised last Sunday, Scottish Rite.
Oh.
The one-day raisin.
Wait. Reverse? You did a one-day raisin for the Scottish Rite?
Yes, sir, I did. From the 4th up to 32.
Okay, well, holler at me.
But this is the thing. There was so much information that was brought to me that there was a lot of stuff I didn't catch.
Okay. All right, I'm listening.
I'm kind of hearing myself while I'm talking to you.
Yeah, you got to turn down your volume.
Yes, bro. My thing is, to get all this information, I kind of think I did it the wrong way. I kind of think I should have sat down and went through the process slowly. Because there's a lot of information I didn't get, a lot of key things I didn't pick up on, as you just said about the key, knowing yourself, loving yourself, and getting all that information straight. I didn't catch all that. It was just too much information.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why I'm calling you is, how should I proceed with backing up and breaking this down so I can get all this good information that is there for me to receive?
Well, it's kind of too late for you to back up right now because you've already gone through their process. What I would tell you to do is that I don't know what books you may have as far as the Scottish Rite, whether the Scottish Rite Volume 1 or 2, or did Prince Hall, them jurisdiction, give you their own Scottish Rite volume for which they have. I don't know.
You can go through Prince Hall. I went to mainstream Scottish Rite.
Oh, shit. Okay, so did they in like manner give you their Scottish Rite volumes?
Yes, sir, they did. They gave me the bridge, the gap of Scottish Rite. They gave me the Scottish Rite ritual and monitoring guide. They gave me quite a bit of information.
Okay, so so I have an idea of how they're structured. It's just my idea from what I know of them and have talked to some of the brothers in mainstream. So they do open most of their pending bodies. They do. The process is, are you going to be able to make it to those meetings that they're going to be having?
I am going to make the meeting.
And that's where you're going to learn your information at.
Okay, that's where I'm going to dig into and make it all. Okay.
Yeah, that's where you're going to learn your information at, because to do a one-day thing is rough. It just depends on jurisdictions. You know, I would say you have the information, study the information, and if, like I said in the openings, if you don't want to go beyond the veil, then stay where you at.
I follow you.
Because it will, the more you read, it will get kind of crazy along the way, but enjoy the craft.
Definitely going to do that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right, I appreciate it.
Thank you for the info, man. And again, I appreciate what you're doing, bridging that gap, at least trying to bridge that gap from PHA and all the other Grand Lodges. But as you say, as a lot of other brothers say, if I see you throwing that hail sign at, brother, you got problems, I'm here to help.
All right, well, that's where it should be. But I tell you, brother, sometimes, but I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Friendship, brother, love. Great, brother. Have a good one. Thank you again.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Peace. So we got the line back open. And so as we proceed to go into the degrees on the Scottish Rite side, we're going to look at the 6th degree, which is a triangle with smaller triangles in it. So it's almost like a triple tie. Not like the Royal Arch triple tie, but it has a triangle with 3 other triangles in them upside inverted. Okay, so in this degree, it is called the master of the blazing serpent. It's the 6th degree on the Scottish Rite side, okay, as you progress up to the Lodge of Perfection. In this degree, you're going to learn that we must have faith in ourselves, faith in each other, and faith in God. That's hard to do. In the 6th degree on the Scottish Rite side, the master of the blazing serpent, it says that we must have faith in ourselves, faith in one another, and faith in God. Brothers and sisters, that's hard to do. That is hard to do. It literally it is. But that's the process that we have to go through when you're traveling as a Mason. There are going to be some hard times. There are going to be some things that you're not going to really like or even want to deal with. But in the process of moving forward, you go through it. You go through it. All right. So we're going to move from there and go to Provost, P-R-O-V-O-S-T, and Judges. This degree, which is the 2nd degree, the emblem for that degree is a sword, or and some may just say a knife, but I believe it to be a sword, okay? Justice shall be impartial and tempered with mercy. This degree teaches us that we should not judge hastily. It didn't say don't judge. It said that we should not judge hastily. Because as we know in scriptures, be it from the Torah, the Quran, or any other books of faith, or holy books or holy writings, that we're always taught that we shouldn't be judged, that we should not judge. But if we judge, we must be able to accept judgment upon ourselves. The same way I judge you, it's the same way I should be judged. So if you're willing to do that, then it's all open. It's free game. It is really free game. If you're willing to be judged just as you have judged somebody, it's free game. It's really free game. I have traveled with my Quran and Holy Bible everywhere I go. Malcolm Prophet, didn't you not tell me a week or so ago you was going to do something with the priest or something like that? Some initiation type of thing that was happening with you? All right, I'm just shooting you a shout out. Now, the 8th degree on the Scottish Rite side, the indented of the builders. We are reminded that this degree, okay, each new honor in a step towards moral perfection, each honor earns a required attention to your duties. So there are some duties in our lives we must pay attention to as we travel, okay? So each new step, each new degree, it's teaching us that we must pay attention to our duties in life. You have a duty in life. And if you don't know what your duty in life is, I don't know what to tell you. Now, I know what my duties in life are, but do you know yours? And this is where this degree is at. It is called the 8th degree on the Scottish Rite side, indented of the builders. And this degree is all about you learning your duties in life, you know, and applying those duties as you move forward. Because what is happening is you're going from sun up to sundown, or some may say from sun up to sunset. That is the span of your life. Listen closely. From sun up to sunset is the span of your life. If you look at it from that point of view, then, you know, when I see people of age, and let's say a person is 74 years old, I look at it as days, 74 days. I look at a day as in a year. That's what I do. And I do it specifically because the years go by so quickly. And we be like, wow, dang, man, the years gone by. So some years ago for me, I started looking at years as in days. So when I speak to my elderly, those who are of age, let's say they're 74, 75 in their 80s, I look at it as in days. They've been here this many days on this rock, this planet. That's how I view it. That's how I see it. So the next degree is going to be the 9th degree, which is the master of the temple. Okay, the message of this degree is that mutual belief in a supreme being should bind all men together in this thing we call the worldwide brotherhood of Freemasonry. That is the teachings of that degree. Okay, master of the temple, the 9th degree, the message, the complete message of that whole thing can be summed up in less than 2 sentences. Each of these degrees, the teachings can be summed up in a very small paragraph or sentence, a couple of sentences, because you may go through the formality of being initiated, but what is the core reason for this transition? What is that what is the core reason? So in the ninth degree, which is the master of the temple, the message of this degree is that believing in the supreme being is what binds all of us who are Masons, regardless. I don't care what you call a person, but regardless, that binds us together. It does. That's what the degree teaches. If you don't believe me, if you're a Scottish Rite Mason, you go read that initiation. You go read all through it, and that's going to be the teachings of that degree as a whole. That's what that's going to come up to. First of all, I want to welcome everybody to the John G. Jones Show, Research Lodge number 147. I hope you're getting something out of this tonight. We're kind of going to be all over the map. Tonight's title is Letting Your Light Shine. Be it an inter-apprentice, a fellowcraft, a master mason, whatever degree you may be, and to the sisters, the same thing to you, because we're going to talk about the sisters as soon as I get done with this, because we can't leave them out. And I got some special to say about the sisters, because I'm going to rattle some feathers in just a few minutes. But I'm going to move on, okay? So, as I get into the 10th degree, which is the master of the elect, master elect, that is the 10th degree on the Scottish Rite side, we learn in this degree that a person, okay, who violates his obligation regardless of his station in life will not go unpunished. Listen clearly, this degree teaches that a person who violates their obligation, regardless of where they may be at in life, will go there. They will go punished when they violate their obligation. And I can guarantee you, quite a few of us have violated our obligation. You don't have to raise your hand. You don't have to talk back to me. It's just the fact of the matter. You know, the 11th degree on the Scottish Rite side. You know, it's the degree. The importance of this degree is of a good citizen, the honesty and respect that they pay to others shall be their reward. Listen clearly, and this is what you get out of the first 3 degrees. Inter-apprentice, fellowcraft, master masons, this is what you get. And you're going to find this out in the 11th degree, the master of the elect 9, that the importance of being a good citizen, okay, being honest and being respected or respectable to others should be your reward. And when I say that, when I'm respected, when I give respect to others, it's all gravy, because I get it back. Hello.
Hello, Jack?
Yeah.
Oh, is Mom there?
Hold on. Call her cell phone. I'm online right now.
All right, that's all good.
That was my son calling the house phone. I'll tell you the truth. Yeah, I got one of them. Let's move on now. So we're talking about the 14th degree. We're talking about the 12th degree. Those degrees are coming up next, 12, 13, and 14. So the 12th degree is the master of mercy. That is the master of mercy. It amplifies the degree is the quality of forgiveness. Check that out. It is the quality of forgiveness, not just for forego the opportunity for revenge, but to the case of feeling empathy or resentment toward another person's transgression. So it is all about forgiveness in this degree. But I'll tell you what, in regards to forgiveness, I'm speaking specifically for me now. See, I'm not the forgiving type. And when I say that, is that if somebody caused me harm, hurt, and put me in danger, no, I'm not forgiving. And I know people say, well, you can't carry that burden. That's not a burden that I'm carrying. I'm not even concerned about that. Hello. Say what? Hold on. I'll be right back, family. Your phone is dead, isn't it? They're trying to call you. got it?
Hello? Yeah, but what's up? What
All right, so I'll tell you this. First thing first, family always come first. So if you're a Mason or Eastern Star, never put your family behind anything. Family is always first, regardless. I don't care what degree you have, who's calling you on the phone, family comes first. So let me move on. Just straight up, man, straight up, straight up. So let's move on. So we're looking at the 12th degree, which is the mercy, which is mercy of mercies. Okay, that is the 12th degree. All right, and it deals with the quality of forgiveness. Okay, the quality of forgiveness, not just for going the opportunity for revenge. So it's about the quality of forgiveness. And like I was saying before I left, it's not about forgiveness for me, because if you hurt me, cause me any harm, it's done. We cool, but it's done. It's not like I'm gonna say, well, you know what? No, come on now. Too many times we're so easy to forgive and not just look at it for what it is. When somebody's out to hurt you, that's tough. That's tough. Now some people, and I'm gonna say this, some individuals, they're able to do that, but I'm not there yet. And I'm speaking specifically for me. I'm not there yet. All right. So if you got any questions you want to call in tonight, it's a different number now. That number is 619-985-1184. If you want to give a call in, you're certainly welcome to do so. I'm going to go ahead and post that number up right now. That number again is going to be 619-985 619-985-1184. So there you go. If you want to call in tonight, you can. The number's up there. If you want to call in tonight, you can. You can call into this new number I just posted, which is 985-1184. The other line is now busy, and I got family on it. So let's look at it. I don't know where Star Child wish I did. Boy, I'm catching up on some of these. One day raising are not normal. Okay. Yeah, I'm in, not bashing anything or anyone. I just want to grow and learn. I'm not getting that at my current lodge. Whoa, okay. All right. I love the organization as a whole. Just wish it wasn't so much division. All right, Star Child. Let's talk about that for a second, and then I'm going to get back over here. It is not that it is the division that bothers me. It is the teaching within that jurisdiction that bothers me. And when I say that, it is the system that the jurisdiction puts out. Okay? It is the system, because every Grand Lodge has their own system. The way they do business, the way they educate their members, the way they handle their rules, their bylaws, they're all different from various jurisdiction to jurisdiction. It is the teachings of that jurisdiction that bothers me. I say that, and I don't put it on the individuals more so than what they're being taught. So if my Grand Lodge is teaching me, hey, you can't talk to that brother because he's X, Y, and Z, and I don't even know that person. But what I do know of that person, he tells me he's a Mason. I've tried him, and I found him to be a Mason, but you telling me I can't talk to him because he's not recognized by my jurisdiction? Hell, he's recognized by me. No, he may not be able to come in my lodge, but that's my brother. And the point is that we allow too many people to come into our business and tell us who we should not talk to, who we should and should not recognize. You know what? I'm done with that. I'm so done with it. So that's where I'm at. And I hope that I didn't turn anybody off from that. But hey, if I did, so more be. All right. After leaving your previous lodge, did the brothers have a bad taste about you leaving? Whoa, that brother, Star Child, what lodge did you leave? What lodge did you leave? I'd like to know myself. Phil Jackson. A matter of fact, my first lodge went down and all those members are with me now. Laughing out loud. We got past all our differences. That's great. I can applaud that. I can applaud that. When brothers are able to get past their differences and move on, I can applaud that. The whole journey is building this house not made of hands, internally of God, resting in peace. Place. I'm sorry. Brother Brandon Lewis, you and I, we've had that conversation. You and I have actually had that conversation. You sent me some information, brother, that is priceless. The jewels that you've shared with me, the information you have shared with me is priceless. And I want to tell you right now how much I appreciate that. Phil Jackson, I was elected Wishful Master twice in my lodge, now Grand Lodge officer, and I was the youngest for years. The other brothers was like 10 years older. Your works, ethics, and the lodge community sets the tone. That it does. That it does. So, I'm going to move on. And I appreciate your comments. I'm going to move on and go to the Grand Elect Master on the that is the 14th degree on the Scottish Rite side, the Grand Elect Master. As the summit of the ancient craft, this degree imposes on us the holiness of God and the reverence of his due in his holy name. If you notice, in any of the Masonic degrees, the reference to God is the Grand Architect of the universe, period. And the reason it is that way, because when you say the Grand Architect of the universe, that's inclusive of everything, period. That is inclusive. That is not exclusive. That is definitely inclusive. And this is where, when you go back up and you look at the Sublime Master Mason, no, is that the Master Mason? Sublime Master Elect. No, when you go back and you look at the Master Elect 9, then you say, then it gets into the obligation that would not go unpunished. Ooh wee. Okay, it's not bad.
It's wet.
It's wet? Well, hold, leave it over there then. Yeah. Set it right there. Don't let him get on it.
I know, that's what I'm trying to figure out a place to put it.
Hey, boy, I got a lot of family issues tonight. Phone ringing, daughters coming over, son calling, wife calling. My. Anyway.
I'm coming to drop you off something.
Well, I appreciate it. But anyway, so let me get back into this. All right, so we're talking now, we're going to go to the 15th degree, which is the elect of the East. This lesson of this degree emphasizes the importance of loyalty to our beliefs and fidelity to our obligation. The only thing that these degrees do is they continue to move forward in your structure in your life. And as Brother Lewis have just said, that what it really does, it tells you in regards to you working on a temple not made by hands. That is what it does. That is truly what it's really all about in these degrees. All right. So now I'm going to drop that. And if you want to call in, that number is going to be 619-985-1184. That line is open for anybody who wants to call in. I appreciate it. Now, if anybody can get in contact with Brother Christopher Jackson, holler at him. I lost all of my contacts, so I don't even know. But definitely hit me back, let me know, and we can move on with the show. So, what you guys tell me?
Nothing, I'm about to take a picture. Come on, take my picture.
Oh my God, girl, I'm doing my show. You want me to take a picture? God, I got time.
You ain't on pause?
No, you can't pause this. This is live streaming. What's wrong with you?
Oh, sorry.
You want me? Give me the phone. Gee. I still say it's crooked over there.
How?
It is crooked. Trust me.
How?
It's crooked. I'm telling you. That line should have went up a little bit more, but that's all right. I
Based
appreciate
off
it.
the picture you sent me, that's the best I could do.
Oh, yeah. You're an artist. You should have done better.
Ugh,
Thank you. I'll take my picture later. All right. Back. All right. So now hey, look, guys, I'm sorry, but you know what? Family comes first. That's my daughter. She's an artist and she's doing a little work for me, trying to hook me up with a little something. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about my sister's of the Order of the Eastern Star. We're gonna get right into this tonight. They gotta let their light shine too. You know what I mean?
All right.
All right, love you. All right. We don't in our district. Your choice on your route. All right, Brother Lewis. I can agree with that. You know, I can agree with that. I'm just going back looking at it. I requested York Rite. Oh, you requested York Rite. All right. I missed that. I'm just going back trying to catch some of this. That may be because they wanted you to have the 4th degree before proceeding on. One-on-one will be hot. Laughing out loud. Okay. If you find you're unworthy and well qualified, that's all that matters to me. That's right. I haven't left anywhere yet. Just considering it for a change, okay, of events. All right. 4th degree is originally part of the 3rd degree. Are you saying on the York Rite side that the 4th degree is part of the 3rd degree, or are you saying that on the Scottish Rite side, the 3rd degree is part of the 4th degree? Just trying to get a better understanding of that, Brother Fitzgerald. No problem, Brother Hawkins. We keep each other sharp. Yeah, you do. I ain't gonna lie about that, Brother Lewis. You call me on some things, and you know what? It's all good though. It's all good. It's all good. All right, 1,000 words yet. Okay, Malcolm Prophet. York Rite. Okay, but before we go to the York Rite, Brother Fitzgerald, let me go and hit this OES a little bit, if you don't mind, sir. So in the Order of the Eastern Star, and for the sisters who come on, you know, you have to look at yours a little bit differently than we look at ours, because, as I've said before, within the star is the compass and square. It is truly there. The ideal is that it is never taught that way. What we get when we become Eastern Stars is the fact that there should be a patron there, and the patron is the head officers per se in the chapter, besides the worthy matron, and he gives her advice when she asks for advice. Brothers, it is not your duty to tell the sister that you're going to take their charter. You don't have that authority to take their charters. I remember when I was coming up, that's what I would hear. Well, the brother's going to take her charter. The brothers don't have the authority to take a sister's charter. They do not have that authority to do that. Okay? Now, what they can do is that if things get out of hand, they can ask the worthy matron or inform the worthy matron, look, if you cannot bring things back into order, we may have to postpone the meeting, move the meeting, do something. Okay? Because the sisters, at times, you guys can get... You know, brothers, if any of you have been patrons in a chapter, you know how the sisters can get sometimes. So let's just be real with it and be honest with it. It's just that way. And then there are sometimes sisters, you know, you can do yourself a lot of harm, you know, by the way you talk to other sisters, you know, and that turns them off. So you may have a sister who's really been dedicated for a very long time, but because every time she shows up to a meeting, you always got something negative to say about her, she tends to not come back. And then one day she don't come at all, and you'll miss out on a really good sister. So in our lodges and chapter, we must put forth good energy. Good energy. Now, I would tell you this for me. When I go to my lodge meetings, it's great. I have an awesome time. Sometimes we have 10 brothers there in my lodge. Sometimes we may have 5. Sometimes we may get 15. But the ideal is that when I go, I enjoy it. And brothers be like, wow, you know, you go here, you go, yes. As a Mason, you should go. As a Mason, you should not just go to your lodge. You should go to other folks' lodge, other brothers' lodge. As a sister, you should not just go to your chapter. You should go visit other chapters. Sisters don't travel much like that. They don't. They prefer to be in their own chapter and be around their own sisters, which is cool. But I would say, yeah, you do that. You go spend time with other ladies and see how they do works, because it may be a little different than yours, but you're yet learning. And that is what we do in Freemasonry. You never stop learning in Freemasonry. The way I think today In a couple of years from now, I may not think that way no more. It depends on what I come across, who I'm studying with, what information I'm finding. And if it's enlightening me, my thought process is going to change. Now, I would tell you this, being part of the Eastern Star, in that the Eastern Star is dedicated in a faith-based way, because in the Order of the Eastern Star, they don't allow other Bibles on the altar. They just allow for the Holy Bible, period. Now, if a sister wants to take her obligation on a different Bible, she's welcome to do so, but more than likely, 99.999, you're going to find a Bible on the altar of the Order of the Eastern Star in all chapters, okay? Period. Unless that chapter is of a foreign land, and I don't know too many Eastern Stars that has a chapter on foreign land. There may be a few, but I don't know many. We thank these lords for wells and woes and whatever the trials be, the T-will serve thee. We and us and below are bringing our spirit higher thee, or higher than. Hell, that's where I learned more, unfortunately. Oh, Brother Lewis. All right. Okay, so we're going to move on and going to continue to talk about the Order of the Eastern Star. Now, in the Order of the Eastern Star, you know there are 5 points on that star. Each star represents a heron or a figure from the Bible. But if you really get into that, you will know that only 3 of those figures really existed as is written in the Bible. But there are examples of all 5 that you will find in the Bible. In all 5, they had a particular thing in their life. There was a widow. There was a wife. There was a daughter. All right. There was a mother. There is the friend. And there's the sister. So those are all 5 points in a female's life that is right there in the Order of the Eastern Star. If you are being initiated in the Order of the Eastern Star, sisters, the unique thing is that it transcends you as a young lady that is coming in, and you're going to be amongst those who are exemplifying those parts of life. You may come in and meet a lady who is actually a widow. You may come in and you meet a lady who's actually, you're going to find out to be closer than a sister. You're going to come in and you're going to meet a lady along that journey who's going to represent the mother. Okay, you yourself may be even mother at that time. So each one of those stages or points or represents a part within the female growth in her life. So this is why in the Order of the Eastern Star they say walk through the labyrinth of life, because those are your stages. For a man, it's youth, man, and old age. That's it. Those are our 3 stages in life. Now you can apply that to a female, but you really can't, because her stages in life are definitely different from ours. They are definitely different. So you can't, no, there's no gender basis here. They are different. You can't make them the same. And this is what I really like about the Fraternal Order of Freemasons and Eastern Stars in America. Ladies are Eastern Stars, men are Masons. That's what I like. That's where I'm at. You heard it here. You heard it from me. I like that, because when I go to my meetings, I want to talk to the brothers, because there may be something going on in my life that I'm dealing with that only a man, I can only talk to a man about. There are some things that may be going on in a sister's life, and she go to a chapter meeting, only a sister can deal with that. Okay? So there is a need for the sisters to have their own thing, which is the Order of the Eastern Star, and there is a need for the brothers to have their own thing, which are the Freemasons. They were also associated with Boaz. Oh yeah, of course they are. Of course they are. The ideal is how many of us can really get down and break that down. You know, that's where we're at. How many of us can really break that down as far as that is concerned? So if you want to call in tonight, that number, hold on, let me see. Just a second. Oh, okay, I'm back. So if you want to call in tonight, I got two lines open now. One is going to be 619-286-0642. The other one is going to be 619-985-1184. So if you want to hit me up, you certainly can. I'm going to put it right here in the box. Let's get this work in. Zero six. There you go, right there. All right. So those are either the numbers you can call in tonight. They're open. Reading, brother Johnny Taylor, welcome aboard. My last $2, I'm not gonna lose. Brother Johnny Taylor, welcome aboard. I appreciate you. So we're talking about the Order of the Eastern Star right now, and we're talking about in regards to the 5 points and what they represent in the 5 points. So you know that in the 5 points, you know the Ruth, she carries the sheaf or wheat, and then we know that you have Ruth who carries the sheaf or wheat, and then you have Elector, which represents the cup. You have Martha, which represents the broken column. Now also the brothers have a broken column in their degree work. In their degree work, the brothers have a broken column also. Now, I'm not going to necessarily tell you what they represent, but we have one too. And you should know what they represent. Just as in the Order of the Eastern Star, and Martha represents that broken cup. That broken column, and Elector represents that cup. All right? So those are all of your 5 points and what they represent. And they're special when you can really understand that. And the cup doesn't necessarily mean the Holy Grail either. The Holy Grail. All right? It doesn't mean that. And also for Elector, and I left her out, it is the crown within the scepter. And if you know anything about Queen of Sheba, that's where that degree is tied into. All right? And if you know anything about Elector, Esther, not Elector, Esther, you know that she went before the king, and nobody go before the king during the feast. And she told the king about the fact that her people was about to be killed. And he was like, oh, you tell me what needs to be done and we'll make it happen. I love it. I enjoy reading about the 5 herons and what they represented. I do. And I think that each of us should take our time to get it in. They have never mentioned that to us. I'm out of Memphis, Tennessee. One of those points look like the Knights Templars. Which point would that be? That as far as look like the Knights Templars. Ooh, Grand Lodge is giving online courses. Wow, okay. So just wanted to touch on the Eastern Star for a moment. And I would tell you this. If in the Eastern Star, every point has a sign, every point has a password. This is why the 5 points represents 5 degrees for the Eastern Star. The 5 points represents 5 degrees. And also the point represents the head, the arms, and 2 legs. Take that home. Find out about that. Yeah, Brother Lewis, I know you can expound upon that a little bit. So we're going to continue to go on. I think Brother Alexander Fitzgerald, I think he was asking in regards to the York Rite. I think he was talking about the York Rite. Let's see what we got here on the York Rite. York Rite. All right, the York Rite degrees are what you call let's see what the name of them. I can't even think of it. I can't even think of the name for the York Rite degrees. Anyway, it'll come to me. But it'll come to me. Oh, jeez, this is running through my head. But anyway, we're going to get into the Royal Arch degree, which consists of the Mark Master, the past master, most excellent master, and then the Royal Arch. There are different veils that you have to go through in the Royal Arch degree itself. But in the process, you are going to go through the Mark Master, the Past Master, which is a virtual Past Master, and then the Most Excellent Master. Now, the Mark Master degree is the oldest Masonic degree, is one of the oldest Masonic degrees. It is one of the most highly respected degrees. It teaches the practical lessons for everyday living. This degree is supplemented for the Fellowcraft degree. Okay, so you remember a couple of videos ago I was telling you that everything you need to know in Masonry takes place in the Fellowcraft degree? It tells you that in the Royal Arch degree as far as the Mark Master is concerned. It tells you that. So anything that you're going to get out of Freemasonry, if you just really, the crown, okay. Yeah, it is similar to the Knights Templars. If you really get down to it, that Fellowcraft degree, it breaks down all degrees in Masonry. If you can take your time to really indulge in it, it does that. Who got questions? Commonly known as the Red House. Yes, commonly known as the Red House. Okay, and then when you get into the Past Master, the Most Excellent, and then you have the Royal Arch. So the Past Master degree teaches the candidate the importance of duty and responsibility to the Oriental chair. So if you are a sitting Master Mason, you're sitting as a Master Mason. Once you come out of that chair, you are then considered an actual Past Master. And then once you go into the Royal Arch degree under the Past Master, you will find that in this degree, which is the Past Master, virtual Past Master, you are taught that that chair of the Wishful Master should be respected at all times. They call it the Oriental chair. It should be respected at all times. That's what you're looking at. All right. So the Most Excellent Master degree, we are taught that these lessons of the complications and dedications of the temple. So in the Most Excellent degree, you're going to learn the completion of the temple, and you're going to talk about the dedication of the temple. Because in this degree, you will find that the temple was torn down a couple of times. All right, now we know as a Master Mason that the temple was torn down. We know that it was rebuilt and torn down twice after that. Now, if you're really a biblical scholar, you know that the temple, it says in the last days, will be reconstructed. The temple will be reconstructed according to Scripture in the last days, and then they will begin to have sacrifices in the temple again. And the reason they did that is because as a Royal Arch Mason, what they did is that when you walked into the temple, you had a rope or a cable tow around your ankles, right? So you had little bells. So the bells would then tell you if you were still alive as you walked and you had the incense burning and you was giving offering to God. Once those bells stopped moving, they know you had died. They know that you was not the right one to go into the temple today, baby. They'll just drag you on out. Drag you on out. Because you had to be an upright person to go into the holies of holies. You had to be upright. And so for the high priest, they tied a rope around his foot, but he had bells on, or the tassels. So you know that in the Jewish customs, they have those little tassels hanging down, right? In the olden days, long gone, those tassels had little bells on them. Now, if I'm wrong, and anybody who's here who are of the Jewish faith can correct me, because I may have spoken out of term. I don't mind, but that's from what I've read, okay? And you can go and read it for yourself too. That's how they got down. Infallible degrees, okay. You sure that the Royal Arch is infallible? I'm going to take your word for it. I'm going to leave it where it's at. Because I thought the Scottish Rite was infallible degrees. But I could be wrong. I have to go back and double check for myself. But I appreciate that. And tonight, they are going to be infallible degrees until I find out different. I'm just saying, sometimes we can get the information kind of mixed up. It happens. But I just want to make sure that I'm on point when I'm giving out some information. All right. So we're going to go into what they call cryptic masonry. All right. The General Council, the General Grand Council of Council of Cryptic Masons operate under the jurisdiction of a Grand Council of Cryptic Masons of each state, and most Grand Councils operate under the General Grand Council of the United States. They confer the following 3 degrees: the Royal Masters, the Select Master, Super Excellent Master. Now check this out. In most of your ancient, free, and accepted body Grand Lodges, okay, Black, ancient, free, and accepted Masons, in most of the Supreme Councils for which they are a part of, this degree is not practiced. I'm not saying all, I'm just saying some. In some of the Supreme Councils, this degree of Cryptic Masons is not practiced. Why it's not practiced, I don't know. But it's a beautiful degree because of the way it is structured. It is a degree really off to itself on the ladder of the York Rite, because it has its own council that is part of that whole body. You know, but most Supreme Councils that are African American descent do not practice that. They don't. That is pretty good, but she went down the wrong line a little bit. Okay, so we're going to move on with that. And in this degree of the Cryptic Masons, you have the Royal Arch Mason, Select Mason, Super Excellent Mason. This is what you get. That fellowcraft is everything you need. You doggone skip it. That fellowcraft is everything you need. Brother Biggs, welcome. I don't know. We made those. Okay. All right. So then we go from there, and then it says without the Royal or Select Master degree, neither the Master Mason nor the Royal Arch degree is complete. These 2 degrees account for the provision of the treasure. Listen clearly. It says without the Royal Arch or Selected Master degree or the Select Master degree, neither the Master Mason degree nor the Royal Arch degree is complete. So it says that you need the Royal and Select Master degree in order to really complete your Master Mason degree. Because if you're a Master Mason, you have been raised, you should understand why. You should. And if you don't, then you have to go back and ask, why do I need the Royal Arch and Select Master degree to complete my Master Mason's work? There's a reason for that. Okay? And in the Royal Arch degree, it is revealed that the Super Excellent Master is an honorary degree. Okay? The qualification for which fulfills the being of good standing in the council. So the Super Excellent degree is an honorary degree that you get for your work that you've done in the Royal Master and Select Master degree. That's why you get the Super Excellent Master degree. All right? That's why you get it. And then you're going to go from there. You're going to go to your Knights Templars, okay? Your Knights of Templars, all right? And the Knights of Templars degree, you're going to have quite a few things that are happening on that. And I'm going to tell you this here. And you can say whatever you want to say. The Knights Templar degree, it's a Christian. It is. And we talked about that the other day when I told you about, as a Knights Templar, you have to say the Apostle Creed. It is part of your degree work. You have to say it. And if you don't know what the Apostle Creed is, look it up. And if you haven't said it as a Knights Templar, then something was missing as far as you becoming a Knights Templar. Okay? Something was definitely missing in that particular degree. All right? So, if you got anything else you want to say tonight to me, I have 2 phone lines that are open. That is 619-985-1184. And the other one I have open is 619-286-0642. So give me a holler, give me a call. Right now, I got lines open. If anybody want to hold that conversation, you're welcome to give me a call. Now, as I proceed to go on, you know that you have the Mark Mason degree. And in that degree, you're going to be taking on a couple of different things. You're going to be talking about receiving wages. You're going to be talking about the different signs of the mark master, the principal signs. It's just, and every degree has signs. Every degree has signs. And I went to one of my supreme councils. We was having our annual session, and I was the lecturer for that particular time for the Royal Arch degree. If you know anything about the Royal Arch degree, when it's open, and where I would say in my jurisdiction, when we open the Royal Arch degree, we do all the signs from the into apprentice all the way up to the Royal Arch degree, on into the Mark Masters, on into those degrees. We do them all the way up, and I had to do that. So I practice, and I practice. Now I'm not saying it was perfect, but brothers, I enjoyed going through all of the signs, of the on the York Rite side, and then you had to call them out as you went up those signs. And every time you stepped off, the brothers behind you had to step off too. And it's a beautiful thing when it's done. It is truly a beautiful thing when it's done. So I'm here now. I'm taking questions. If you want to give a call in, 619-286-0642 and 619-985-1184. If you want to call in, you got any questions for me tonight, the lines are open. But definitely the degrees, brothers and sisters, I want you to definitely look at it and putting those degrees in. And I know the sisters have degrees, like they have the Herons of Jericho, they have the Amaranths, they have the Daughters of Sphinx. Some say the Daughters of Isis. Others, depends on where you're at. And then you have the White Shrine. But it just depends on what jurisdiction you're in. The degree work is pretty much the same across the spectrums of Freemasonry in various jurisdictions. The works is pretty much the same. So, with that being said, I don't have any phone calls tonight. I hope that you enjoyed everything that I've given. And I'm not going to take this one down like I took down the last two, because I was having a technical difficulty. And those two videos, to me, they was, well, if I could have amended them some type of way, that was good work to me. I tend to raise up a brother and sister in conversation. When they leave me, they do have a clear view, their spirit in the light, and where it's at. Can you explain the landmarks of some who don't stand for correlation of basis of and truth? Which landmarks are you referring to? Are you referring to the landmarks in Freemasonry, the landmarks as far as the Order of the Eastern Star is concerned, because they have their own landmarks? What landmarks are you referring to there, bruh? Darnell, just give me a call, or just type in what landmarks are you referring to. That would be greatly appreciated. That number again is 619-985-1184, 619-286-0642. The lines are open for the night if you want to come on and have a conversation. We're all over the board. We're not just stuck in one spectrum tonight. We're really all over the board tonight. We're talking about the various degrees in Freemasonry, be it York Rite or Scottish Rite. We're talking about the Order of the Eastern Star works tonight. So if you want to come and get some of this, come on down. And just to piggyback off of what I said the other evening on the video, that there are only 2 times that you receive a ring. There's only 2 times that a Mason receives a ring, and that is for his 33rd and his 14th degree as a Scottish Rite Mason. Those are the only 2 times that he should receive a ring. Can you explain the, okay. The ladies have their correspondence with Ruth and Boaz, starting with Ada. Yes, they do. But you said something about the landmarks, so I'm just trying to understand that. Can you explain the landmarks for some who don't understand, for the correlations of Boaz? Okay. So, the landmarks between Boaz and Ruth, all right? So, we all know that Ruth, she was hanging out with Naomi, right? And Naomi and their sons was killed. They was all killed. And they became widows, right? And then Naomi said she was going to go to her people, and Ruth didn't know where she wanted to go. She didn't have no place to go, right? And what happened is that she went with Ruth. I mean, she went with Naomi to her land, right? And then Naomi told her, "Look, you're gonna have to start gleaning in the fields for your works." I'm just giving you a brief synopsis of the whole thing. So she was like, "Okay, cool. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna glean in the fields." But Boaz seen her and he was like, "Nah, you don't know nothing about this," because it was hard labor gleaning in the fields. He was like, "You don't know nothing about this." So he was telling the other ladies, those who was gleaning in the fields, "Look, leave some for this lady right here, because she really don't know what she doing, right?" And they did. They left her some. They left her some. And then in the process, in leaving her some, right? Naomi, when she hooked up back to Naomi says, like, Boaz checking you out. He really digging you. And she was like, "Nah, he ain't digging me." He's like, "No, Boaz digging you." So, Naomi got Ruth all looking good, got her all sexy up, got her all perfumed up, took a good bath, boom, boom, and told her, "Hey, look, you need to Boaz. When he wakes up, he needs to see you at the foot of his bed." Yes, indeed. You read it for yourself. So she did. She got all dibbied up, all smelling good, went and hung out. When he woke up, he seen her. He was like, "Damn, she's fine." You know what I mean? And then after that, he was like, "Well, who your people be?" She was like, "I don't have no people." But he found out, said, "Hey, look, in order for me to do this the right way, I need to have a contract." So he gave up his left shoe to signify the contract that him and Ruth was about to do the thing. They was about to commence. They was about to get married. That was the contract. That's the sign of a contract when Boaz gave up his left shoe. So, and then they commenced. They was like, "Okay, we good." This is how you get Boaz with Ruth. That's just a short synopsis of that story. Every point is connected to the Masons. Every point of the star is connected to the Masons. Every point, no doubt about it. I hope they kind of help you out. Oh, they was Moabites. Oh, okay, thank you. I appreciate that. In the end, he ended up marrying Boaz. Yep, she did. She ended up at the Carson station when he woke up. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. But that's an interesting story. But as I said, every point of the star is connected to the Freemasons. Another connection you might want to consider is Jephthah's daughter. What's her name? What is Jephthah's daughter name? Shucks. Jephthah's daughter. I don't want to say Esther. Hold on, I'm gonna have to go and look now to actually remember Jephthah's daughter. Who is she? And then I can even tell you that's a nice story too, because that story of Jephthah's daughter is connected to your fellowcraft degree. If you are, let me see. Nope, that's not it. Jephthah's daughter. I'm trying to figure out what degree is she connected. What point of the star is she on? What's her name? What is her name? Martha? Nope, it's not Martha. I'm trying to see which one is it. Anybody? I need a little help right now. I'm trying to think of which one is it. Ruth, Esther, nope. Martha. Elector. Okay, so it's Martha. So that point is going to be Martha. Ruth, Esther. Esther, Martha, Elector. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm missing a point. I am Ada. Okay, my apologies. It's going to be Ada. Jephthah's daughter is going to be the representative of Ada, that degree of Ada. That's going to be the sword or the sword in the veil, right? It's going to be the sword in the veil. And the reason being, if you know anything about Jephthah, Judges, the book of Judges, you know there was a war going on. And if you know anything about the second degree, if you could not pronounce the word correctly, there were certain things that would be happening to you if you couldn't, as you tried to cross out of the, as you try to cross out of across Jordan River and during the war. So what happened was, as Jethan of the judges went off to war, he promised God that, hey, I would sacrifice the first thing coming out of my house, right? He did that. He said, look, I'm gonna sacrifice the first thing coming out of my house. And then as he was coming back after God had granted him his victory, then he was like, okay, his daughter comes out, and he dropped his head. He was like, oh my. So he had to sacrifice his daughter because that was the promise that he had made to God. And in the process of him making that promise, his daughter wanted to go off. She wanted to go off into the mountains with her friends for a little while. So upon her returning, right, she was laying on the altar. Her father puts a veil over her face. She removes the veil 3 times as he places it on her face 3 times. And upon the last time, she said she wanted to see. She wanted to see what was going on. But there was a lamb in the bush. And I'll leave it at that. So that's the connection with the fellowcraft degree. If you know anything about the fellowcraft degree, you know that there was a war going on. And it's out of the book of Judges, and you will find that Jonathan or Jethan, they was at war. And this is where you will find that connection. Now, each point is connected to the Freemasons. And the compass and square of the Freemasons is hidden within the star. It really is. So, with that being said, I'm going to let you go tonight. She ended up, okay, I was just reading something. So, I'm going to let you go tonight. I hope you got something out of this. It's always good to come on and fellowship with my brothers, with my sisters. And as I leave you, always keep your light on and stay out the bushes. I'm out.